Hello and welcome to the Black Sheep Rising. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Conan.
And Boner Joe.
I thought we were going with the... I'm so confused.
What happened? Do you want to introduce the dog as well? Jesus,
no, we are not having the fucking dog on the show.
Come here, dog.
Too late.
My boy. Son. All right, now get out of here. Go. It's all right,
No, we just had a conversation about what to call this guy, and I thought we were calling him something different.
He just said it was all right. Boner Joe is coming out.
I wasn't paying attention. Wait, what's he coming?
He has it on his license plate. That's final. It's out now.
Oh,
my face
he's
is
coming
permanently
out as Boner Joe. I thought you meant he was coming out in a different way.
No, he's an agorist, and his name is Boner Joe.
My identity is now compromised.
That's right. So what the hell do you do?
I think everybody's identity has been compromised by the NSA.
You're like the tinker. It's like, like hide your wives, hide your kids when Jay comes by because he's going to sell everything. He's going to buy it and sell it.
Hey, that's how I get by, man.
Is that why I haven't seen your daughter? Did you sell his daughter on eBay?
Or she's in hiding. She's locked in the basement till Jay leaves. So you just monitor thrift stores and flea markets and auctions and online sales, and you just go and you see what works.
All that years of experience is in my brain, and just like, ooh, this will pay rent this month.
How much research do you usually do every sale you go to? Are you just, is it in your mind?
It's pretty much in my mind. I know what something's worth, and if I don't, I'll look it up.
That's pretty neat because you meet a lot of people who say that they can do those types of things.
Yeah.
You have like a lot of yard sale wives who go out every Saturday.
Yeah.
Those are called hoarders.
Buy a lot of crap that they never get rid of.
They're
I
called
find
hoarders.
a lot of stuff they miss. So
you're confusing hoarders with people that can sell stuff.
Have you seen my basement?
Yes.
I'm a hoarder.
Yes.
Kind of.
You are.
But I use all that stuff eventually.
Yeah, that's what hoarders
that's what
always
I keep telling
say.
myself.
I mean, if it sits there longer than 5 years, then that's something that should not be there. But
5 years?
Well, I mean, as long as you have real estate, we're not all living out of the back of our car. That's a big-ass basement down there. And if you store properly, if you played Tetris as a kid and you know how to stack things properly.
I worked for an airline for 4 years. I played Tetris every day with people's luggage.
I've seen those guys just launching backpacks and suitcases into the back of their little trolley.
You know what you do with the bag that has like 4 fragile stickers on it?
You sit on it. That's the one you sit on.
You see how high you can toss it in the air.
You guys are disgusting. But
how is that disgusting? That's just mean and cruel. But that's the game you play.
Well, that's because but I don't fly, so oh well.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are we talking about this week?
Well, we usually talk about little stories that we find here and there, but we've had a lot of local events that took place this week in Keene. Starting probably with the Palmer Mass story that we talked about a little bit about last week.
Yeah.
But you didn't actually tell me the
because
the value.
I could not.
So what actually could not? So now can we?
Now we can because the check has arrived and the person that received the check has made that public.
Ian threatened to revoke our cult membership if we told. So.
Oh, but you guys are good to go now.
Yes.
Cool. So what happened?
So in October of last year, Ian was arrested for filming inside the Palmer Town Hall, and it was blatantly a violation of his rights to, free press and everything else. And over a period of 4 hearings in the court there in Palmer, Massachusetts, the charge went from a misdemeanor to a violation to being dismissed to not only was it dismissed, but the city of Palmer, Massachusetts has compensated Ian $5,000 for wrongful arrest.
To make him go away.
Well, they did that basically with dropping of the charges, but it was, we really screwed up. Here's money.
Wow. Do you think you could have gotten more out of it?
Probably, but my understanding is the lawyer didn't really negotiate too much. It was, I don't know exactly because I obviously wasn't there, but if I had to guess, I would say the conversation went something like this. City of Palmer, we'll give you guys $5,000 to go away. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's good. Where do I sign?
Now, I saw some Facebook posts asking whether or not this was a win, a first-time money win for a New Hampshire Free Stater. Even though it wasn't in New Hampshire, it was in Massachusetts.
I would say first time I've heard of anybody actually getting a settlement check now. I know Carla and maybe 2 or 3 other people were involved.
That's still in
it's
the
still,
legal process.
Yeah, they haven't got a check cut or anything.
Well, that's good, because that's the last thing I asked last week was, did we win? And when I mean win, I mean when you consider all the time and energy that we put into it. We had people trucking back and forth. We had people who were, on their game, figuring out, legal land and all.
Yes.
Good.
Gas in that police cruiser is expensive. It adds up real quick. Ian driving it down there all the time.
The guys from Liberty on Tour and Motorhome Diaries, Pete and Ademo, were arrested approximately 3 years ago down in Greenfield, and it is my understanding that they're trying to get copies of whatever settlement between Palmer and Ian to use in some sort of case that they have against the city of Greenfield, Massachusetts.
Cool.
To try and get compensated for their unjust arrest that happened almost 3 years ago. So statute of limitations are coming up on that.
That's good news. It's always good to hear stuff like that.
I mean, you're going to get a settlement pretty much no matter what, because their next step is federal court, basically. So if they can save money by giving you 5, 10, 15 grand instead of spending 30 or 50, they're going to do it.
Exactly.
We save money by switching to Ian Freeman.
Dear leader. So that was the first good news. We didn't have such good news on the next story, which was the Rich Paul sentencing.
It was definitely better than what it could have been.
Yes. Well, a couple of weeks ago I said that he should have taken the plea just to stay away from jail time, period. I didn't know about the probation forever.
Well, they never said how much probation he would have had.
Which could have been forever.
Because he refused the offer before they ever finished the sentence.
Right.
And what the hell? Your dog is making weird noises.
He was yawning.
I think your dog raped himself.
No, he's a good dog. He's a good dog.
Yeah, so when I said basically life on probation, nobody knows how much probation was being offered because he rejected it before hearing that.
Well, I'm not on my game tonight, am I?
Stupid dog!
There you go. Does that make you feel better?
No.
He didn't hear, but it probably wouldn't have been good.
Right.
I mean, how much probation do you think they would have offered?
Well, based on what he actually received, I would probably say 5 years.
Well, now, and he's losing a year of his life. I mean, do you think that would have...
Yeah, so he's got a 1-year sentence in the county, which is much better than it could have been. He could have had to go to the state prison. And
Well, I mean, if it was more, he basically already served, like 2 months of that.
51 days.
Pretty much he was already stuck there if he got a year.
Not necessarily.
Really?
Because I was in there during the sentencing, and the judge said, I'm sentencing you to 12 months, but I don't think you deserve to be in the state prison.
So he could have been an asshole, but he...
Right. He could. The judge could have made him do the rest of the 1 year in a state facility.
You think Rich is going to last that whole year, or you think he's going to start carving out with his spoon?
Well, I mean, the appeal's coming up, so hopefully he'll get out in some kind of bond,
my
right?
understanding is the appeal, by the time, if it actually does get heard by the Supreme Court, would not be until after he's out anyway.
Wow. But
Because with good time, he's probably going to be out in 7 months.
There's no way he could be out of prison pending appeal, though?
No.
Really?
That was asked for by his attorney, and the judge denied.
Someone who needs this, medicine is not only going to have to spend, at least 6 months in jail now.
Probably
but then,
7 more months.
Yeah, then 3 years on probation where you can't have his medicine.
3 years on probation.
Unless he goes to Vermont or wherever
Right.
he's talking about.
And then
if he can get
after that,
transferred,
he still has to behave for an additional 3 years because he's got 6 years of having to be a good boy. And I'm still confused on how much time is hanging over his head if he does screw up during the 6 years that he has to behave.
He should have just taken the plea and gone to Mexico now. I mean, we make fun of you for it, even though you didn't really say it. But I think that may have been a wise choice after all. But I understand his whole, he's fighting for freedom thing, and he's willing to put himself on the line for that. But
I mean, it's all about principle. I mean,
He was convinced until the jury read the fucking verdict that he was going to get all of his charges nullified.
he is the nullify man. That's his big thing.
I'm actually surprised that he's gotten so little jail time.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get 15 years.
Wow.
And based on one interpretation of how much time he has hanging over his head, it could possibly be 15 years.
Because of all in all.
Well, because there were 5 charges, and there's 1.5 to 3 years on each charge that is suspended during a 6-year period.
Mm-hmm.
So one interpretation is that if he, fucks up and gets arrested for anything 6 years after he gets out of jail.
Well, not only that.
One interpretation is he might be in jail for up to 15 years.
See, the thing is, I can see him getting out on the LSD charges on appeal because he didn't sell LSD. Whether that invalidates the whole trial is, I guess,
no,
something
that
to be
would
decided.
just invalidate one charge.
In the end, he's still stuck with a felony, which means
5 of them.
Oh yeah, okay. Well,
4 at the very least.
1 is worse enough.
Right.
It means he can never own a firearm. At least in New Hampshire. Some states
in New
differ.
Hampshire, he cannot pick up a knife to cut a steak.
Well, no. Well, I mean, I know the definition you're talking about, the deadly weapon thing, which could be like a spoon, technically.
Yes.
Because you can cut somebody with a spoon, believe it or not.
I could stab your eyes out with a spoon.
Yeah.
It would be very painful, and I might not actually succeed in doing it, but if I were intent on doing it, I could pop somebody.
No spoons for you. Not in this house.
But yeah, he loses his rights to own a firearm. He can't vote. I'm not that he would.
Felons can vote in New Hampshire.
Really?
After they're done with their probation and everything else.
Well, I mean, I heard him say this. That's why he didn't want to take the plea, because he didn't want to lose his right to bear a firearm.
Because he was still convinced that he was going to be able to convince a jury that what he did was equivalent to a Rastafarian growing weed for personal consumption for religious reasons.
And ironically, even if he had gotten off on that and it had been nullified, According to federal law, if you're a known narcotic drug user or just drug user period, you cannot possess a firearm.
You can't purchase.
You can't possess one. So that means purchase or whatever. You can't hold it. You can't use.
Okay, my understanding was you just could not purchase one because there's the question on the background check of
That's why it's
illegal.
there, because you cannot actually own one currently. So no matter what, he's fucked.
Yes.
So, I mean, looking back on it, should he have taken the plea and gone to Mexico? Yes.
I never said take the plea. I just said going to Mexico sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, well, 6 years stuck being the bitch of the state after you get out of jail is not fun.
Yeah. I still think Mexico sounds a lot better than having to piss in a cup every week.
Especially because probation, they make you prove your income.
Yeah.
So, and knowing Rich Paul, he's kind of an agorist.
He's going to have to get a wage job.
Yeah, you have to pay their monthly fee, and plus all the fines he's got now.
Yeah, $500 fine plus $125 court cost on each of 5 charges. So rough math, $3,000.
Yep.
3,200 something.
Well, we're having flag waves for him every Sunday. Some people are showing up to that. How long is that going to continue on? Now that he's still in, he's been moved. Where is he being moved to?
Nowhere.
He's going to stay in Cheshire
He's staying
County?
in the county jail. Were you not paying attention to the
You guys didn't talk about
conversation?
that, did you?
He's not going to state,
Okay, well that's good.
He's in the same place he was before.
which means that he's staying where he was.
That's good. That's a lot better. That's a lot
Now I
better
just
than
have to
state.
put the rest of his money as commissary account, and so we don't have to worry about him being moved anymore, I guess.
Like they might move him to a different block.
Yeah. More
Move him
permanent.
to a different cell in the same block.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Well, we'll keep you guys informed.
Speaking
on
of
the
staying
goings-on and all.
informed of goings on, you have a ticket for solicitation on Tuesday, right?
Solicitation? What?
I've never heard it put that way. How does that work?
You were trying to man whore yourself and got a ticket?
All right, hold on now. I've never been caught for doing that
Oh, okay.
yet. Well, is this live? And no, it wasn't. It was for a speeding ticket, and I'll tell you guys about
Not
that
speeding,
next week.
man whoring, close enough.
You think it falls into the same category? Huh?
They're both victimless.
Okay, well then in that case, yes, it was a victimless crime, and I'll be on court on Tuesday, right before Robin Hood goes to court that
Well,
afternoon
not
at Superior.
right before. It's
Same-
several hours.
Same day.
Same day, several
Yeah,
hours,
they
though.
kind of work into each other. I'll definitely give you guys a heads up on that. It's not something I really want to get into, I think, because it's.
Are you going to be able to beat it?
I think I'm going to beat it, hands
Good.
down. Hands down. I really wish I can trade in one of my other court appearances for this one because there's another one that really bothers me, and I'll probably get to that one day, but not yet either. So sorry to keep y'all guys in the dark, but I'm not telling you nothing until I'm proven innocent.
Treating everybody like mushrooms.
Because some yahoo might be out there recording this.
Keep them in the dark
And
and
might
feed
decide to
'em
use my
shit.
words against me. Isn't that how that works?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. I'll tell you next week. So, all right. So, Rich Paul, Palmer, Massachusetts. Anything else went on this week? We had a budget meeting this week.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about the budget meeting.
We had Keene, New Hampshire, which is where we're located.
Tell me how a larger number is somehow equivalent to cutting.
This is what your politicians do every time. They'll get up there and they'll plead with you. They'll be like, "Look at all the cuts we made. Look at all the savings we made. Look at all these.
We
look at all the
fired 390,000 midgets.
We fired 3 people, and the budget's going
I
up.
thought it was 39. I heard 39
I think
people lost
I think
their
it was
job
like a
in Keene.
percentile in the teens, like 13% or something.
Was that like the poll workers or something?
Probably it was probably someone
No.
who was not needed at all, and or it was someone that is desperately needed as a way to punish the
Right.
people for trying to lower taxes.
Yeah. That's how it always is.
What was the case that was involved with that? Where that comes from? The name for that?
Mount Washington syndrome.
Where politicians actually go out of their way and they find very important services that people rely on.
Like when the
and those are
federal
cuts they
government
make.
does the budget cuts, or well, what was it that happened in the Clinton years? The government shutdown. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're still going to keep the military around the world because they're needed, but all of the parks are closed.
Yeah. Or even just recently.
Can't go to the Smithsonian.
Just recently, they
furloughs,
they discontinued the White House visits.
Yeah, because of sequestration. Oh, we've got to cut 2% from future increases. The world is going to end.
And that's how they punish you. That's how they make you feel it even harder.
Oh, here, Egypt, have a couple $1 billion, but sorry, school kids, you can't come see the White House anymore.
Well, anyways, this year, the Keene City budget is going up 3.37%, and that's
Of course it is.
And that's just the city. That's not already the school that already also went up this year.
5%?
No. It was like 1% or something like that.
Oh, yeah, the taxes are going to go up at least 5% just on the school portion.
On the school portion, exactly.
So a 3% increase on the city portion means, what, about a 7% increase on the city portion of the taxes?
Well, it's half of the school portion, so yes, 7%.
How do they expect people to afford to live in this town?
Well, that's the point that I brought up. If you go to freekeen.com, I went ahead and posted my 4-minute rebuke of their budget raise. I thought I brought up some very good points. You know, they have these guys who are elected as our city councils. They have a vision, and it is to make Keene beautiful and to get people to move here and to bring revenue to the city. Except what they're doing is the exact opposite. When you raise taxes, you prevent people from wanting to live here. That's the first thing people look at.
Keene has a
look at
war on families.
They look at real estate, and then they look at the tax rate.
Yeah.
And if those don't work, guess where? They go live in an outlying city, or they don't even come to your state.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know, and I brought up a good point, and I didn't really get into detail on it, but you know, these people might be of a mind. They might actually want to prevent poor people from living here.
They do.
They will raise the taxes to such a point that the only people who can live here are people who have a high income.
That's why they're doing everything they can to get the fucking homeless shelter out of here.
Except guess what? Then you have no one to run your Burger Kings. You have no one to work in your Walmarts. You have
now that's 100 Nights, not the real homeless shelter. Now, not the state-sponsored homeless shelter where all the people making $60,000-$70,000 a year administrating
They don't touch those guys.
No, that's the official charity.
They touch 100 Nights.
Yeah, the one that has like 30 rooms and there's 140 homeless people in Keene.
So, anyways, James got up and James asked some really good questions. One of which is going to kind of segue into a story that we're going to go into, but he asked why the city doesn't contract out more. He asked, why are some of these essential services that aren't really essential at all, like parking and animal control, why are they police jobs? Why couldn't they be contracted out to some dirtbag in a truck?
Well, because...
and he said some locksmith who works part-time as also the animal control guy, because there's not that many dogs getting loose.
Yeah, just be on call, you know.
Just being on call. Exactly.
Have a flat fee or something like that.
If you let random people control your dogs, then you'll just have Smith and Wesson coming into your house and kidnapping your dog.
Oh, you'll find all your dogs out at some secret ranch out in the woods where there's like 100 dogs.
Have you ever seen the traffic control? I mean, have you ever seen the animal control van though? It says traffic control and animal control. I think. So why? At least they're combining vehicles.
And why do they make as much as they do? He says the head guy is making like $60,000 a year.
What? Just for catching dogs?
For catching dogs and for sitting on call, just sitting there probably all day in his little office, his little air conditioner office, or his air conditioned truck.
All he's got to do is put that loop out in that dog's head and drag him in there.
It's unbelievable. But anyways, they took it under consideration.
They take everything under consideration. There's an RSA in New Hampshire that says that every city has to have an inspector of petroleum, naphtha, and illuminating oils. The city of Keene has never had an inspector of petroleum, naphtha, and illuminating oils. And
even back in the day when it was first introduced?
never. I had the city clerk or whatever the hell he is look, and he could not find where the city of Keene has ever had an inspector of petroleum, naphtha, or illuminating oils. And the city manager or the city attorney rather, who is in charge of, advising the council on legal issues, initially told me about a year ago he would take it under advisement. Then about 6 months ago, he said,
take it up with the legislature.
we're not doing anything, take it up with the legislature.
Mm-hmm.
And so I returned a letter to him saying that the legislature has had 130 years to take this up. They have not seen it in their wisdom to repeal these RSAs. So he should do something. And
100 years from now, they might just be like the slaves that just got released. From,
the 14 slaves out of 20 that petitioned for freedom in 1779. Yeah, 234 years later, the legislature finally took up their petition and granted emancipation to the 14 slaves who were not freed during their lifetime.
Right.
But Daryl, why do you want to raise taxes?
Why do you or why don't you?
No, I said, why do you really want Keene to have the illuminating oil inspector?
Oh, the inspector of illuminating oil and petroleum and naphtha gets paid only when he goes out to inspect petroleum, naphtha, or illuminating oil, and he bills the person that he is having to inspect stuff from.
So you would never get paid.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
There is no petroleum, naphtha, or illuminating oil that needs inspected.
But that would be a
Keene.
really nice badge to put next to your shiny badges.
Shiny badges don't grant extra rights, but this one does.
That's all right. All right. So, anyways, the way it's looking, Keene is going to probably raise its city taxes this year.
Of course,
inevitably,
because they're just going to take what Prince John has offered to them on a silver platter, and they can't fucking think for themselves. Then they're going to take it, and our taxes are going to go up.
Well,
and they're not going to. And when their term is up in 1, 2, or 3 years, it doesn't matter anymore. They're out of the picture.
they're all going to fucking get reelected anyway.
They won't be held accountable.
They're all going to get reelected.
At least the property values are falling, sort of a commensurate rate. You know.
That's the thing. This year, not only did I reassess my house and my property taxes dropped, but they dropped naturally anyways, which was another one of my points. Keene is taking in less revenue.
Right.
So they have less money to pay for city services, which means you've got to quit one or the other. Jay, when you make less money in a month, if you're used to making $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month or whatever, right, and then for the next couple of months you're going to make $200 less a month, what do you do about that?
You institute the Tamworth Millionaire Program.
Do you keep spending $2,000 a month, or do you lower it to?
Well, if you don't, you're going to be in trouble.
Or do you?
But I'm not the government, though. I can't get like an emergency loan for that.
Or maybe you go knock on your neighbor's door and say, "Hey,
right.
look. I'm used to making $2,000 a month, but for the next 6 months, I'm only going to be making $800. I need to borrow $200 a month from you.
Or can I get 50 gallons of your heating oil?
And if you don't,
I got the pump right here.
And if you don't, I'm going to get these guys over here.
Yeah.
With their badges and their uniforms, they're going to come and they're going to take that money from you. This is exactly what these people are doing. And here's another way to look at it. Here they are raising taxes every year.
Yes.
Essentially what they're doing is the same thing I do when I go to work and I ask my boss for a raise. I'd be like, look, boss, I'm worth this. I need this money for this to make, because I'm a good worker. I need a raise. And that's essentially what these city councilors...
And your boss laughs at you.
Exactly. But this is exactly what these city councilors should be doing with us, because guess what? We are their bosses. They should be coming to us for a raise, and either they can present their case, be like, we want to put this money in this in this sector, or we want to build this for the city, and be like, and you know, present their case to us, and be like, all right, you're worthy of that raise this year. But that's not how they do it. They just say, look, we're raising revenue, and we need, and we.
Well,
and we're gonna take
Conan,
this
you know,
money from
that's not practical. You know, that's not how government it works in
Hold on,
reality.
that sounds like town meeting, which is what happens in a lot of the smaller towns.
And that's
in
why
New
I
Hampshire.
wish we can go back to it. It probably will never ever happen in Keene until the apocalypse. Whenever we end up
Go back to being a town.
Exactly, go back to being.
They
a small
raise
little
property
town.
taxes enough to scare everybody out.
And that way, this town meeting, we have a population of 23,000. Guess how many people went to this town meeting? 20.
There wasn't a town meeting.
There was
in
fucking
Keene.
20 people there.
There was a city council meeting that was open to the public. That's not the same as town meeting.
Forgive me, a city council meeting on the budget to be, and all points and statements were to be taken into consideration.
Right.
Nothing was solid. There was no voting or anything like that.
Circular file, I'm sure.
So 2 of us spoke for, and 2 of us spoke against.
If I did not need sleep during that time, then I would have been there.
I understand. There was a couple of faces that I knew who would have been there, but because of work and whatnot.
There was one other person that I know would have liked to have been there, but he actually was coming back from New York that night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I pulled his stint at the courthouse that morning, and I handed out 40 flyers that morning. It was a pretty good morning, but yeah, these guys, you know.
So what do you think? Do you think that they should institute the Tamworth Millionaire Program? Are you familiar with that?
I've seen the show or the show.
The video?
It should be a show, kind of like the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
Like a regular weekly event.
I'm
Hi,
sure
this is
not
Byron
everybody
Kingsley.
has seen this, so let's go ahead and it's 6 minutes.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
It's a beautiful sight, isn't it? Hi, I'm Byron Kingsley, with an important message from the Citizens Realty Advisory Program. With many people out of work in these troubled times, it can be difficult for everyone to pay their fair share. But I'm here to tell you about one small town that's making a difference. I'm talking about Tamworth, New Hampshire. Here in this beautiful town, politicians are taking bold steps to help those who feel their local governments are unable to help them.
Thank you. What's on the agenda today, Cassandra?
Well, federal money's drying up.
Property values are still down, but our newest town hall revamp projects are ready for approval.
Well, let's get this meeting started. We are in trouble if we cannot find a new source of revenue to pay for these legal bills and these new projects.
Looks like Finman's at it again.
Look at that.
This is outrageous. This guy's really getting on my nerves.
We have to put a stop to this.
This guy would not allow our assessor to get a proper evaluation. All he did was send in pictures.
Gentlemen, I believe that we have a solution to teach this man a lesson and make all of our budget shortfalls in one step. Willie.
Let's make him a millionaire.
I don't think that's legal.
Refusing inspection is grounds enough to set the value at whatever we choose. 1.7 million would be enough to upgrade our offices to bulletproof glass.
That's good glass.
With 2.7 million, we could finish the porch to nowhere out back as well.
He made a mockery of us. Make it 4 million.
He's just going to sue us. That's going to cost more in the end.
Are you trying to put the town attorney out of a job, Bob? Whose side are you on anyway? I mean, we're going to use this man's tax dollars against him to fight him. It's win-win. Win. I say bring it on!
Oh. Despite his best efforts to avoid the charity of others, Scott Finman was turned into an overnight millionaire. You're probably thinking, that's just one isolated incident. Well, take it from me. Tamworth is here to help everyone in need, thanks to the Tamworth Millionaire Program.
Hi, I'm Jethro, new resident of Tamworth. I bought this baby for $96,000. Isn't it a beauty? Look around here. All this stuff is mine. So sweet. I gotta thank Byron and the Citizens Realty Advisory Program for teaching me how to use TMP to turn this into a real fortune. All I had to do was do some protests on the way home from work. Now this baby is worth $1.3 million. First millionaire in the family. Won't my mama be proud? I'm as happy as can be, thanks to TMP and the Citizens Realty Advisory Program. Time for a celebration.
Woo!
Yeah.
Are you Jethro Jenkins?
Millionaire Jethro Jenkins.
Sir, we have an eviction notice. You're gonna have to vacate your property immediately.
No, man, that ain't right.
The town government sold your property. You haven't been paying your back taxes.
What? This can't be right. You can't just take my property from me. That's my $1 million mansion. You can't.
Sir, we're just doing our job. The town government sold your property for your back taxes.
No, wait, man. You can't. Can I tase him?
Billy, calm down. Jethro, let's not make this harder than it has to be. Jethro.
Guys, I'm in the middle of an interview here.
Sir, who's this guy?
Step back. We're about to arrest this man. We can arrest you too if you like.
They're taking my property,
Just
man.
stay out of here.
Sir,
Jethro,
turn
let's
around,
go.
put
Come
your
on.
hands behind your back.
I'm millionaire Jethro Jenkins, man. What the hell?
All right, let's go. Come on.
Oh, man. I got a date with Ivanka Trump on Wednesday.
You got a date with Peanut. Peanut likes beards.
Wow. I'll bet you're wondering, how could I become a Tamworth millionaire? Well, here at the CRP, we're working on ways to make it easier for you to learn about the opportunities here in this beautiful New Hampshire town. We're working closely with a local website that promotes compliance with government. It's called livefreeandcomply.org. Once at the website, you'll find this easy-to-fill-out form, which can be mailed to the Tamworth office. Or simply call this number to find out how you can get involved with TMP. I'm Byron Kingsley with the Citizens Realty Advisory Program.
Thanks, TMP.
The situation in Tamworth is dire. If they don't come up with revenue soon, they might take a long walk off this short porch to nowhere. Please, join the TMP.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about how that worked.
So,
pretty good quality video. I wish that we had more stuff coming out here like that, but I mean,
yeah.
I think we produce enough that to make up for the fact. We have a whole new generation of filmmakers in our town.
I don't like this fucking new generation of bullshit. Fucking fuck.
Because you love Tim and Eric. You love Tarantino.
No. No.
I like it. I dig it sometimes.
No.
I dig it sometimes. Jay,
No.
what do you think about the whole Tim and Eric video quality editing?
Tim and Eric.
There's two big fat guys that do the comedy. They have Galloping
The two
Afterson.
retarded guys that are on Adult Swim.
I have never seen it. Sorry.
For real?
Really?
We'll talk to your buddy Garrett because that's his.
Oh.
Those are like his heroes, and that's his video style.
Oh, okay. That's what I want to.
I think, anyways.
Horrible.
No, it's all right.
No.
Don't listen to him.
It is not all right.
You don't like any movies or video. You only like it when it's professional news. Some of us like it. Some of us like it when it's a little rough. Gonna look up some Tim and Eric.
I don't know. Wait, I was going to respond to part of your statement, but
well, I was thinking about that last video that we watched about.
I'm not going to respond to the
Don't.
liking it rough.
Keep it in the
part.
box. Keep it in the box. We don't need that.
Well,
that
that's
type
generally where it is when I like it rough.
the glove box. We don't need that type of conversation sprouted here on this set here. This is all
What are you searching for here?
Kosher.
Apparently something I can't find, so.
You spelled Tim and Eric totally
I
wrong.
know.
Eric with a K. Eric with a K is a Viking.
He's spelling it like Boo Leon.
Eric with a C is a small man who is Tim and Eric.
I apparently don't know.
I don't know what he was looking for.
So anyways,
What do you think's going to happen with the Robin Hood trial?
I don't have a clue. If it goes like any of the other trials that we've been having the last couple of weeks, it's going to fall flat on the state's ass. Or the state's going to fall flat on its ass, and I don't want to touch the state's ass, and so it'll be there.
I'd
fallen.
touch the big, tall, blonde Amazon chick.
You mean the one with the thing over her eyes, Lady Liberty? Oh, you mean the actual physical person. I want to touch Lady Liberty's ass, but you want to touch the Amazon's.
The prosecutor.
I know.
I would do freaky things to her.
I don't think she would.
But going back
I don't think
to
she
the
would
liking
ever
it
have any
rough.
conversation. She has never talked to me before, except
Yeah.
when she had to, when the case was involved.
Right.
And I don't think that's ever going anywhere. And that would be weird, anyways.
Yeah. Oh, it would be, but
that's the true black and
donkey
white.
punch, homie.
That's the true black and white salt and pepper right there.
Donkey punch.
What's that all about? That's a song.
No.
Pucifer's just put on. That's pretty good.
Go to Urban Dictionary.
I'll have that on one of the other
Just
shows.
go-
It's called Donkey Punch. It's called Donkey Punch the Night Away. Go ahead, Urban Dictionary. What?
Just, I'm not going to explain it, but just, this is not sufficient or not suitable for work. But when you get a chance, go to Urban Dictionary and type in donkey punch.
I don't know why we're not looking this up, Daryl. This is that.
I know exactly why we're not looking this up.
Because it's three guys.
Okay,
Or because
you know what?
Because
Fuck
it's
it.
not a late night show. We are a late night show.
I know we're a
this
late
is-
night show, but
so
some
we can-
people
so
might
we
be
can-
listening to the archive while they're working.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what?
Well, I mean, if they're listening to it while they're working, they're going to have like earphones on.
They better
anyway.
have some earbuds in. I mean, who?
Yeah, they better.
We have the technology for privacy.
I know. And by the way, if you don't listen to your music or your podcast with earphones,
Wait,
or
why am I
earbuds,
searching YouTube?
You're a fucking jackass.
I don't know why you're doing that.
And I hate your
Daryl,
guts.
but
This
you
this
probably
goes out
should.
to the whole world. Put your fucking
No.
earbuds in and listen to your podcast that way. I don't want to hear it. It doesn't even matter if it's music that I like. It could be my favorite song in the world, but when I hear it from 20 feet away, all I hear is
Wait, apparently there's a
and fuck you. I mean,
atomic
good God.
donkey punch now too.
It's just horrible. So anyways, I know it's my favorite song, but it sounds like ass, complete ass. And so I hate you even
like
more.
ass, don't you?
And the same thing goes for people who have their earbuds so loud that I can hear your music in your ear holes from 20 feet away. That's just not
You
necessary.
need to get proper.
Wikipedia
size
removed the image.
That's just not necessary at all.
They used to have an image here.
Well, I mean, go to view history. It might still be in there. Actually, they probably deleted it from the.
Let's see here. I know that last May there was an image, or at least they've removed
Well, it's
it.
putting Donkey Punch into the context of the song that I like. It's called Donkey Punch the Night Away. And that's just not enough context for me to figure out why this would be a bad thing.
The brass.
It sounds
donkey
almost
punch.
like, I almost get the idea of like a drunk person, getting punched, getting some reason punched into him. He was donkey punched.
Apparently, it was on Jeopardy.
So that means it's not that bad.
Betsy.
Who is Herod?
Yeah.
Punch for 800, please.
A blow to the back of the neck is the punch named for this animal. Mike.
What is a donkey?
No. Betsy.
What is a rabbit punch?
Rabbit, yes.
Punch for 600, please.
Okay, no, that was not Donkey Punch on Jeopardy. Why did somebody fucking title Donkey Punching on Jeopardy?
Well, how many votes?
Okay.
We'll give it a vote down then. God damn it.
So
it's a rabbit punch now.
No.
Just fucking
Donkey
tell us.
punch. I'm about to read the definition here. Donkey punch is when you are engaged in anal sex And when you are about to ejaculate, you punch the poor little lady in the back of the head so that her anal cavity tightens, making the orgasm all that more better for you.
That's probably a good thing that we didn't talk about this on Black Sheep Rising, because that doesn't have anything to do with our show. Did we just talk about it? Fuck. Yeah, that's just strange. So you end up punching her in the back of the head, and what? Is she into that kind of thing?
No, the thing is that when you punch in the back of the head, it's supposed to cause the person to pass out.
I get that part, but I mean, then she.
Why would it get tighter though? You think it would get looser if they're like?
I know,
right? No, there have been scientists that have somehow tested this.
Exactly. When you die or when you go unconscious,
clench.
Just get them to cough instead, because
Yeah.
Very strange. But this is Urban Dictionary, and of course, how many votes up and how many down?
25,209 up votes.
Yeah, well, versus
18,000 down.
So a lot of people are of the opinion that that is the wrong answer.
Next
a lot of women apparently
definition,
disagree.
punching someone in the back of the head may lead to serious brain damage and even death. Donkey punching involves the male punching the sexual partner in the back of the head during anal or vaginal sex prior to orgasm.
All I see are a lot of very even votes. A lot of people are for and against.
Now, Daryl,
which makes me think that none of these are right.
As an expert in concussions, do you think this is a healthy practice to do?
See, that's the thing. I mean, you've got to wake up with this person, maybe, or maybe you leave.
Yeah.
No, you leave after. You don't fucking lay there
Just don't
to wake up.
Don't do it in Texas, because apparently bad things can happen with prostitutes.
Like her brother will come hunt you down?
Yeah.
In Texas, her brother's the one that fucking donkey punched her.
No, did you hear about this?
That's Alabama, damn it, dude.
Did you hear about this?
Dude, I've lived in both states.
Did you hear about this whole thing in Texas where apparently a guy listed the services of a prostitute off Craigslist, paid her $150, and then she didn't have sex with the guy. So he asked for his money back, and she didn't give it to him, and bam, he shot her. And it went through trial, and the jury didn't convict him because, according to Texas law, it's not illegal to try to recover any stolen property at nighttime.
So he got off.
Yeah.
He
didn't get off, but he got off.
I wonder what they would have done if
I don't have a drop for that.
I wonder what they would have done if it would have been a paperclip instead of sex.
Oh.
God, I need to put that in my notes.
You stole my paperclip. I can shoot you in the face. Because it's nighttime.
Yep.
Well,
so
that's
how
Texas,
are we?
That's Texas for you, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
How do we get on this?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know how we got onto this. I was going to talk about EPA storage facilities.
Yeah, we don't have time to talk about that.
What is it, 8:22? What time are we supposed to end?
What is the EPA story?
10 minutes. Oh, you know what? We can talk about it real quick.
Wait, hold on. I wanted to segue
real
into
quick.
this. Anyways, Cleveland was talking to the city council about, hey, why don't you guys contract out some of these jobs? Well, here's what happens when you contract out jobs. It's not anything better. It might be just a little tiny bit better than the state, than the city, than the government. But at the end of the day, it's just as bad. Because this is what the fuck happens.
How's this for a man cave? A private space with a couch, chairs, TV, a weight set. This isn't your cousin's basement. It's a U.S. government facility, a warehouse in Landover, Maryland, overseen by the Environmental Protection Agency, leased and operated by a private contractor for $1.6 million of your tax dollars a year.
When the auditors first saw it, it was overwhelming.
Robert Adachi was the lead auditor for the EPA's Inspector General, who just issued a report on the facility. The document looks like a brochure with pictures of other man caves in the same warehouse. Here's a space with an even larger TV, a chair, artwork on the wall. Some had personal photos and pinups, and
they had put in a refrigerator, microwave ovens.
That black object, bottom center, that's a hair trimmer. I spoke about all this with taxpayer advocate Ryan Alexander.
We hired these people. We paid taxpayer money for these people to manage our inventory, take care of the warehouse, and as far as we can tell from what the Inspector General found, they didn't do any of that.
And the report says these personal spaces were hidden from security cameras by partitions, curtains, and piled up boxes. The EPA said we couldn't get access inside this warehouse, but EPA officials say as soon as they learned what the Inspector General found, they had the private contractors who operated this building escorted out. They prohibited them from coming back, and they began taking inventory of everything inside. It's not just the little getaway spaces that raised concern. Those little specks on the box, lower right?
We did take pictures of places where they had taken rat traps and where there were rat feces all throughout the building.
One place the contractors did keep immaculate, their 30 by 45-foot gym with updated equipment, including...
The pictures show also a computer that was attached to some speakers, and it appeared to be used for music.
There was a security breach, expired passports of EPA employees with all their identity information lying there in open boxes. Oh, and did we mention the inexplicable inventory? Pardon my language, but what the hell do we need with pianos in an EPA warehouse?
It's a big question. Why the EPA has pianos and why they had all this other inventory in the warehouse. Why they had all this stuff that we weren't using.
An EPA spokeswoman says those pianos had been at EPA headquarters for awards ceremonies, receptions, and other functions there, and then they were moved to the warehouse. The agency said in a statement that it moved quickly to address all of these problems, and indeed, the Inspector General does give the EPA high marks for its fast response. We called and emailed several times the private contractor that operated that warehouse, Apex Logistics of College Park, Maryland. We never heard back.
Well, if you do, let us know. Brian
Sure.
Todd, excellent report. Thanks very much.
It's a little bit dark, but at least it's not as hot as it was. Good God, I'm glad I didn't turn them lights on.
What isn't as hot? The man cave? You were living in somebody's man cave and it's not as hot as you thought it was?
You know, we've always made jokes about that at like Walmart is, you know, the third shift people who work at night, you know, how many of those pallets up there are really just little man storages like Employee of the Month where they went up there and played cards and drink alcohol and stuff during work hours?
The only Employee of the Month movie, there's 2 different movies titled Employee of the Month. The one that I saw had Christina Applegate and Matt Dillon in it. And the gay guy from Kids in the Hall that was also in News Radio. Can't think of his name.
Was it good? Because I hadn't even heard of that.
Yes, it was really good.
I'll put that on my list of
Just
things to watch.
remember,
is it on Netflix?
everything is an illusion.
Everything that you watch is good?
Everything is an illusion.
Okay. Like the Matrix.
Everything.
We live in the Matrix.
Is an illusion.
Anyways, the Employee of the Month that I'm talking about had that silly Dane Cook guy.
That guy's a fucking retard.
Leave him alone. He's not that bad.
He's I watched an entire Dane Cook Comedy Central special.
You're clipping out, son. Stop screaming into the mic.
I watched an entire fucking Dane Cook Comedy Central special and did not laugh once.
He has a very physical approach to his comedy.
No, he has a you must be intoxicated approach.
No. See, this is the whole Tim and Eric thing all over again. It's just a whole new. It's a new generation of artists that you have to get used to. And
I don't have to get used to fucking shit.
Stop! You're gonna break the mic.
This is my mic. I've had it for 15 years.
It's gonna break my fucking mixer.
This is my mic.
It's gonna.
There are many like it, but this mic is mine.
There's only one of these mixers, and fucking
me,
it costs more than your mic.
This mic is useless. Without my mic, I am useless.
Jay, what?
So how does this movie compare to reality?
What are we talking about? Employee of the Month?
Yes.
It doesn't.
It just fantasy?
Except that there are real contractors out there.
Easy go, little.
Well, yeah. Apparently, this
creating real man caves. Except, what do they do all day? How many are we talking about? I mean, how many different spaces did you see? At least
I don't
five.
know. I mean, you gotta figure. You know, at least a quarter of this warehouse is probably empty, and they're just storing stuff that's just like collecting dust. Apparently,
I think it's full to the brim.
Whatever. I mean, they're making a ton of money. Apparently,
I think this would be your utopia, your fantasy land.
Oh,
where you can just
probably.
go and you're like, what?
This probably
is
like
available
this
to
probably
me?
$100 million worth of shit that the government paid for in there, and the company's probably paying $100,000 to lease the warehouse
or
a year.
salvaged, or took in from drug busts.
It's probably
or
like
whatever.
it's probably like spare parts for
doesn't
stuff.
do drug bust.
Maybe the drug bust people send their stuff to these guys.
No, it's EPA.
No, the drug bust guys keep the stuff for themselves.
It's probably like
they don't share.
Do they even auction it off to themselves?
They don't share.
They don't share at all, those fuckers. But anyways.
So, Conan.
Well, apparently they were like saying this shit has been laying around so long that there's just like rats everywhere.
This is the part of the show that you hate.
Yeah, and you're not going to ask me first. You're going to ask Jay because he's never been on before. I'll fucking answer it first.
No.
Jesus Christ.
I will ask Jay first.
No, you can't ask him first because he's never been here. You got to ask me first at least.
Okay.
You know what? You know who should answer this question first is yourself, so we can think about it.
No.
Okay, Daryl.
I'm asking the question.
We've come to this part of the show where we talk about what we've learned on
What
this
did
show.
you learn tonight?
I don't know. Let's see. Something about, city government, state government, federal government, all government, the state in general.
Yes.
They're a cancer. They're a parasite.
You didn't learn that tonight. You've known that for a while. Don't try to bullshit me.
They are only capable of one thing, and that is growth. They will grow bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And every year when you tell them and ask them and put this on a pallet on a silver platter saying, why are you growing? They'll be like, because it's normal and it's necessary and because we're looking out for the little man.
You signed the social contract.
And you sign that social contract, and it's a part of being a citizen of the community that you live in. You need to pay your fair share.
Who is going to plow the roads and put those fucking granite curbs up?
Oh my God! I mean, what the fuck? If we didn't have what we have, it'd be utter, absolute chaos. Fucking zombies in the street, goddamn fuckers with mohawks, with shotguns, and they'd be.
It's a good thing for those zombie games because everybody knows how to take care of those
looting the
fuckers now.
gas right out of your fucking truck.
You can't just rant about something that you've already known. What did you learn tonight?
I don't even know what the
During
fuck we
this
talked about
show?
tonight. I know that I didn't do any drops this evening. I might put some in pro edit, post edit, pro edit. I like pro edit too. I don't know. What did we talk about this evening? We talked about a lot of local events.
All right. I'm done with you. Jay,
Fine.
What did you learn tonight?
I learned that Daryl can get even louder than I thought he could.
Make sure that the CAC administrator, or whatever his title is not on the porch after 9.
Is that what you learned tonight?
Summer hours.
Yeah, summer hours. So listen, people, you know how I feel about earbuds and people playing their music loud? It's
And
the same thing for
buds.
people on the porch.
Yeah.
Don't fucking go out on your porch at goddamn 1 o'clock in the morning and have loud-ass
Who does
conversations.
that?
Fucking jackasses. Fucking assholes.
I'm still asleep at 1 o'clock in the morning.
I'm not saying you did it. I'm saying
I know.
that
I'm
people
just
who-
saying it's not Daryl.
Usually alcohol is involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And other things. And it just,
Semen.
People talk. People talk louder than usual, and they don't know
I
what.
don't know if they would be doing it on the porch though, but they may.
They might.
They better not be at the CAC.
Maybe they don't have air conditioning and it's too hot in the house.
Well, put some sheets up or something.
That's a good point. I mean, it's already, what month is it? It's like
Especially on the second floor.
June.
June.
Yeah.
And it's already pretty warmish. I'm not.
You're not going for the air conditioning?
I'm not feeling it. Can you guys believe that I used to live in Florida, like my whole fucking life?
I thought you lived in Tennessee.
No, I lived there for 4.5 years.
Okay, so
it was definitely an upgrade, and then coming here was even a better upgrade, and then we have to experience our 2 months of hot weather. Oh my God, it's
now my
horrible.
time to
Hey,
answer what I learned tonight.
Daryl, what did you learn this evening?
I learned that you grew up in Florida.
Haven't we had this conversation on multiple occasions where
I know that you previously lived in Florida.
No.
I did not know that you grew up in Florida.
The majority of my life, I lived in Florida.
I thought it was a thing of you were from Tennessee and just happened to live in Florida the way that I happen to have lived in Missouri,
No,
South Carolina, Arizona.
I'm not a transient
Pennsylvania,
like you are, living in your car, going
Texas.
Where was
exactly.
Conan born?
Yeah, exactly. When was I born?
Where were you
were
born?
born in 1978.
No, close. We've had
79?
Yeah, 79. But we're the same generation.
You were born. Where was he born?
As far as the Chinese are concerned.
Out of his mother's vagina.
Speaking of where I was born,
I am so glad you didn't say speaking of vaginas.
Speaking of vaginas, anyway, speaking of where we were born, there's a show that I'm almost done with called Fringe, not The Fringe, but Fringe. It's on Netflix right now. It's
Never heard of
It's
it.
not that bad. I started watching it a little while ago, and I'm finally finishing it up. But it's not one of those things that I watch like continually and like I finish whole seasons in like 4 days. But the strangest thing that I saw is it's in New England. They're based in Boston, Massachusetts, and they go everywhere. They go to New York, and they go to Vermont, and they go to Rhode Island. But guess where they never go?
Iceland.
Never come here. They never go to New Hampshire.
Why?
There was one time when they went to New Hampshire with the old man, the old senile man who doesn't have a license and can't drive, accidentally drove his vehicle up New Hampshire. Like I think it was up 12, and he ran out of gas. That's the only time they came into New Hampshire, as far as
Trippy Visuals that did that?
No. This is just a regular Netflix show that's being played on Netflix.
Oh,
right now.
I thought you were transitioning to the
not yet.
closing.
Not yet. I don't even know how much time do we have.
Negative
plenty
2
of time.
minutes.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that. It is
Negative 2 minutes.
Listen, if you watch Cheshire TV and you're wondering why the shows are cut off, is because we only have an hour on Cheshire TV. If you would like to see the entirety of the video and or audio, please come visit us at blacksheeprising.org.
Yeah, see, that there's some people in here that think, oh, we have an hour, that means that we can record an hour and a half, and there are other people that think we have an hour, so we should record an hour.
Keep in mind that I'm an internet man and a podcast guy, and I realize that we can talk for 24 hours straight, and as long as we find the audience to listen to us, fuck you all.
Nobody's going to listen to me for 24 fucking hours.
That's why we've got Jay here. Duh.
I don't know. They might.
Just get some strippers in the background, and you'll find an audience somehow.
I should, one of these days, just like take over the LRN studio and do 40 straight hours of radio.
If it wasn't Ian's half of his bedroom, then that wouldn't.
It's not his bedroom.
That wouldn't be such a big deal. I guess
It's not his bedroom. It's his living room.
I don't know.
Or
whatever
what
you
should
call
be
that
his
room,
living room.
ancient house.
It's the hot box because there's so many pieces of machinery in there.
It's like the only place he has air conditioning in the house, I think.
Yes.
Yeah,
because he's got like 15 fucking computer machines that are running all the time.
So check us out at Shire TV. Shire TV. Look at me,
What
man.
the fuck is wrong with your brain?
What the fuck month am I on? All right. Hey, check us out at blacksheeprising.org. You can also check us out at Facebook.com/ShireTV.org if you want to.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
What did I just say?
Shire TV.
Wow.
Practice. You're going to have to edit it
I'm
in.
going to have to taser you every time you say Shire TV.
Electrical shocks would probably help right now. All you would have to do is take one of those flashlights over there and just stick my finger in the shock socket. I don't know. That might work.
I don't think that's enough voltage.
We did Shire TV.
Maybe you
for
put
how
your
many
tongue
months?
on it.
For about 6
7 months.
6 or 7 months, and good God. So yeah, I guess it's ingrained in my head. I guess I'm still that guy for a little while.
Let's have a taser party and invite Cantwell.
Yes.
Cantwell, if you want to fix my issues with...
He knows how to tell a joke, but he can't well.
Not to... That's pretty good.
It is.
Guess what drop I don't fucking have? I don't have the snare drum drop or something. Yeah, something similar to that. That was pretty good.
Although his "I trust the government" jokes are kind of funny.
I like a lot of what Cantwell did. I like his regular rants.
Have you seen the "I trust the government" things that he's been putting on the Facebook? There's one that says, "I trust the government like I trust a fleshlight from a yard sale." I forget some of the other ones, but they're all pretty funny. So he's thinking that that's going to be his "you might be a redneck" is "I trust the government."
Is he coming to Pork Fest this year? Maybe he'll drop some of those off on the audience.
He will be up middle of the week.
Cool.
Although open mic comedy night is Monday.
Wow. Hopefully, I can make it for the entirety of the
Hosted by
week.
yours truly.
I'm hoping to God, and I don't believe in God, but I guess I'll hope to him in this case, that I don't get called into work that week, and that I can come the whole week, because I guess next week we don't know how the show is going to end up. We might be doing this show We might be playing a rerun, or we might be doing the show at PorkFest at a picnic table, or it might be at the LRN Studios at PorkFest.
We've got the LRN Studio scheduled for Sunday night.
Which I might not be able to attend, so, I mean, I don't know how that's going to work. It might be Daryl by himself.
There's going to be something getting did in the LRN Studio at 10:30 at night.
After hours. Hold on. I do have a drop for that one.
Do you have the porn drop?
Oh, fuck. It's so old now.
Here we go.
What's going on at PorkFest? Sunday night, late night.
Something's getting did.
Something's getting dead.
In the LRN Studio.
Yeah.
In the media room.
That's what I want to hear. But I ain't going to be there, so you better tape it. Because I'm going to be watching it when I get home. Maybe not. Maybe I won't. Okay, so we're not Shire
on
TV.
How it's getting did.
We're Black
whether or
Sheep
not
Rising. We are
tape it.
The Black Sheep. Even Jay. Jay, you're welcome on anytime.
Thank you, sir.
You come back.
Just stop playing with the dog during
not
the
playing
middle
with
of
the dog.
show.
The dog just wants love and company, and he
attention.
doesn't get it from us. he doesn't get attention
I
from
would
me.
rather have Studio Cat.
Studio Cat is under the bed for some reason.
No, Studio Cat just walked across the doorway.
Yeah, she's always going to be like that, though. Kitty was a feral cat, and she doesn't like people for the first 24
And
hours.
then I saw another cat. Was it the same cat?
No, not. Oh, now you're matrixing. now you're seeing the terror.
Deja vu is normally a glitch in the Matrix.
The doors are locked.
And there's brick outside of the window.
Anyways, why are we listening to this?
The fuck if I know. Why are we still talking?
Because we have lots and lots to talk about. Like, for example, where you can find us, and it's not shiretv.org.
No, it's not.
blacksheeprising.org. And visit us at the same place at this Facebook page.
Facebook.com/blacksheeprising.org.
Please go and look at the YouTube and give us a thumbs up, because right now that piece of shit troll, Running Wolf Kenpo, is doing his utmost to attack us.
You should just block him.
Yeah, just randomly delete his stuff.
Well, what is the YouTube
I don't like doing that,
link?
though. It's, YouTube link is... Oh, the YouTube link is at my link. It's at Conan Salada.
YouTube.com/Conan Salada.
Yeah, there's a lot of other good stuff on there, too. If you like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I have all the seasons on there.
Are those in public domain?
They are not. A lot of the stuff that I
you're
share
violating
is not...
the intellectual property laws?
Because I don't believe in it.
I don't either, but I also don't want my shit being stolen by the YouTubes.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to put up with a little ad every now and then, because sometimes things get flagged. And
So
I'm sorry.
I
if you are
mostly
watching
comply.
a video and it's like one of the videos is like blackened out and I haven't put anything over it, like, it's because YouTube flagged it and I had to blacken it out or take the audio out completely, which hasn't happened yet. But
That's
as far
good.
as IP is concerned, intellectual property, this song that we're going to close on is a prime example of why intellectual property is bullshit. Because
Yes.
this is an original song that was covered and remixed by another person who did a little dubstep remix on it, which
Okay.
is phenomenal, which is great. And on top of that, the guy who took that remix played it to someone else's video, which is
Trippy visuals.
which is the Blockhead video, the music scene, which is another good.
I don't know what.
Which is another
that
really good
is.
video. So, anyways, you have all of these infringements on intellectual property
Yeah.
going on in one song, and it couldn't have happened if it wasn't available to the masses.
Right.
So I think I'm just going to go ahead and put all of these variations in the show notes. By the way, show notes, shiretv.org.
And then I wrote
everything
ShireTV.org.
BlackSheepRising.org. I'm going to start assaulting you every time you say the wrong thing.
I need the little electrical thing.
Yeah.
Good God,
But
man.
speaking of IP, I actually wrote
I'm not
an
even
article
drunk.
a couple of weeks ago about how copyright law is bullshit.
It's bullshit. It all it creates is stagnation.
Yeah.
And
So
this- and-
I'm going to give you the link to that article, put it in the show notes
Cool.
as well.
That'll go there as well, on top of all this. Jay, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Daryl.
Yep.
Regular.
Yep.
We'll see you next week, maybe. Maybe at Forkfest. Hopefully
I'll
at
be
Forkfest.
on the show next week. I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Hopefully I'll be here next week. Conan Salada. The dog won't be here. I can promise you that.
Good.
See you guys next week.
Maybe there's going to be a studio cat from now on.
Take care, guys.
I won't soothe your pain. I won't ease your strain. I seek you out, flay you alive. One more word and you won't survive. And I'm not scared of your stolen power. See right through you anyhow. I seek you out, flay you alive. One more word and you won't survive. And I'm not scared of your stolen power. See right through you anyhow. Survive, and I'm not scared of your stolen power. See right through you anyhow.
I think I'm going to adopt a cat and have it live in your house to be
I'll be the studio cat.
be like studio cat.
There she is. She comes when the show is over.
There's an invisible man butt print on the chair. I'm sure that this makes sense if you're tripping on acid.
True Bonobo Love. Is this a music video? Is he eating that man's boogers? And then his own? And then he's sharing his boogers. So he ate some of his buddy's boogers. Then
That
picked
might be a girl
They're
monkey.
then picked one of his own boogers and then put it in his buddy's mouth.
That might be a girl monkey.
That's why I said buddy. Uh-oh, hold on. Maybe they're not girl and guy. Now I'm confused.